Time stretched on, replaced by quiet questions and restless nights. It was a period that tested not only our hope but also the strength of our union. I could sense her quiet disappointments. I, too, was restless inside. By now, my parents were asking why we were taking long to grow our family. The medical results were fine. In fact, they gave us no reason to worry. Every test came back normal. Every doctor reassured us that nothing was wrong. Each time I spoke to my parents, they spoke about wanting to see my children, about the joy of children, the continuation of family, and so on. Every time my parents spoke of grandchildren, I felt the weight shift onto my shoulders. In the 3rd month of our 11th wedding anniversary, I was on the phone with my mother, unaware that the call would mark the beginning of everything unraveling. My wife heard my mother tell me to get married again because she wanted so badly to see her grandchildren. My parents' longing was sincere. My mother's mention of another wife unraveled a past I did not even know existed. I heard my wife scream behind me. I turned to look at her standing at the bedroom entrance as her piercing scream echoed through our room. Her chest heaved as though all the air had been snatched from her lungs, and her eyes brimmed with a mixture of disbelief, bitterness, and anger. She hurled insult after insult at me. "So you and your mother are planning behind my back to replace and cast me aside? Do you both think you can just get rid of me? Throw me away like I was never part of your life? It will never happen. Remember our blood oath and don't forget our marriage contract agreement," she poured out. I tried to speak, to calm her down, but she proceeded vengefully with her sharp tongue. 11 years and nothing. It's not my fault you can't conceive. You are the problem, not me. You think I don't see the way people look at me, as if I am less of a woman. And now, you let your mother speak of another womb to replace mine. The weight of her words shattered my composure. You are cruel, Adela. How dare you accuse me like this? My mother and I are not planning behind your back. As an only child, my mother's advice came from a place of utmost concern. I said, "Your mother has no right to dictate what happens between us. Tell your mother to stay out of our lives. If she wanted grandchildren, why didn't she give birth to many children? She can as well have more now, since she's so fertile." She spat out. My face stiffened with offended pride. "Don't talk about my mother like that. And you, why have you not conceived any child yourself?" I shouted angrily. "At least my mother have one," I shouted, my voice trembling with anger. "You've not been able to conceive anything, not even a miscarriage." The words tore out of me before I could stop them, sharp and cruel, flung in defense of my dear mother. Adela's eyes widened, the flicker of pain in them almost too human for the woman I thought I knew. For a moment, I almost regretted it, but pride held my tongue still. I had spoken in my mother's defense. Then came the revelation that changed everything. "Point that finger at yourself, Mahmoud. Don't you dare call me barren. I am not barren. You think I cannot conceive, but you don't know me. I am a mother. I am a mother. I have carried life before." She lashed out, pressing her hands to her stomach. She said them very cruelly, each word sharpened like a blade, meant to cut deep. Her tone carried no hesitation, no hint of remorse. It was calculated to wound. The words weren't just spoken, they were thrown, each one aimed with precision, meant to get back at me. For a moment, the room seemed to tilt under the weight of my wife's confession. Who did I marry? When the revelation finally came out, it shattered something deep within. My heart ached, heavy and hollow. Trust had been torn apart, and with it, the fragile fabric of our marriage. Soon enough, I discovered the truth that Adela had become pregnant at 15 with a neighbor's son whom she had given herself to in both heart and body, believing that what they shared was not just fleeting passion but destiny. When the relationship resulted to her getting pregnant, the boy who once vowed to stand by her turned his back, and Adela found herself carrying the weight of pregnancy, judgment, and consequences. The pregnancy had been denied by the boy who was responsible for it, and his parents outrightly refused to take responsibility too. The pregnancy had caused a lot of turmoil for her and her family, who chose to keep it rather than abort it. Medical checks revealed she had conceived twins. Her parents, seeing the shame and the struggle, stepped in with a decision to shield Adela and their family's reputation. They made a decision to move to a new location. They took the twin boys as their own, raising them not as grandchildren, but as children. The twins were presented to people as their children, and Adela, after childbirth and recovery, went on with life as best as she could. It gave her the freedom to continue with her life, to chase education, and eventually love without the constant reminder of a dreadful past. Although years later, when she had moved on and built another life, the memory of that first love lingered. She was like a wounded lion. She felt cheated and bruised with betrayal. It made her guarded and very selfish. It made her approach relationships in ways that solely served her. And that was why when she chose to marry me, it had to be on her own terms. The promises. The blood oath. The marriage contract agreement. She wanted absolute certainty, absolute control. I also found out that our childlessness wasn't a matter of fate. Adela could conceive. Yet she had been quietly taking pills to prevent it because her first experience of motherhood was not filled with joy, but with trauma and pain. I felt stripped bare by all the revelations. I had built my life with her, believing we shared the same dreams, but she was a closed door. It left me exposed, standing in the wreckage of what I once believed was unshakable. I had ignored all the warnings and disapprovals. I will never look at love the same way again. Adela's betrayal had not only wounded me, it reshaped me.
What kind of love demands blood, hides its own children, and steals the choice of parenthood from the one it swore to cherish? This has been another tale from Echoes of Life Experiences. If you would like to hear more, please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for staying tuned.